This is Radeon HD 5850 from XFX 1GB version. Can you game on this graphics card in 2019? Let's find out. So today on the benchmark we have a Radeon HD 5850 from XFX. This is a 1GB version of this graphics card. Basically, it's not the high-end 50,000 series graphics card. We also have 5870 and 5970, which I also cover in a future video. So yeah, it's very hard to find graphics cards, especially old ones with box and everything inside. It came actually with 5 years warranty, but that warranty already expired because this is a graphics card from I think 2009. And what's very interesting about this card is that it also supports DirectX 11, which is pretty cool for even today's standards. It's obviously second gen PCI Express. It supports HDMI. It also has 1GB GDDR5 memory. It supports also some other cool features like OpenGL 3.1. You can also crossfire multiple graphics cards, so you can increase your performance as well. And as you can see right there, 1GB GDDR5 memory. It supports also stream technology and iFinity, which means that you can install multiple video outputs, high definition video gaming and photos. It also supports HDMI with 7.1 surround sound for 80 Radeon GPUs. What also we have here? So yeah, that iFinity, which says that as you can see right there, you can play games on 2560 times 1600 resolution. And yeah, pretty much decent graphics card even for today's standard, just because it has 1 gigs of RAM. So let's move on to the unboxing as well. So moving on to the unboxing experience, it's always cool to unbox something that came with the box, and I kind of like that. So let's just try to open this thing. Actually, it's still sealed. Okay, it's not. There we go. Alright, so we can see what's inside of this box. It says play hard, XFX. So we have, I think right here we have some probably crossfire adapter. Yeah, so there it is. A crossfire adapter, 6-pin to Molex. You should not use this, as well as this very old graphic driver installation guide. We have how to install, quick install guide, how to install this graphic card, and some other cool things. Well, it actually contains much more things than today's graphics cards. Probably there was also a CD for some games that you get when you purchase this type of the graphics cards back then. And also Do Not Disturb. I'm gaming, XFX, pretty cool. And also very big graphics card. There it is. So it looks clean, as you can see it. That's just because I open it, I clean it, and I also applied new thermal paste inside. So MX4 thermal paste, just in case if you wonder what type of the thermal paste I'm using. And yeah, we are ready to put this thing in my computer so I can run some benchmarks and show you is it possible to game on XFX 5850 1GB version. So stay tuned for that. And also what I like about this card is the design. I also forget about mention that it requires two 6-pin Molex adapter or just regular two 6-pin power supply adapter. It also has two DVI outputs, one display port and one HDMI. I also forget about that, so sorry for that as well. So let's move to some game tests so you can actually see how this card perform in real games. So see you in the game. So we're in the first game, and the first game is a Dota 2, so very popular game that many players like to play. And as you can see, at this moment we get around 45-50 frames per second, almost a whole gigabyte of RAM used on this graphics card, near 6 gigs of RAM also used. Right now we have around 55-60 FPS. So the GPU temperatures stays around 65 degrees. The GPU is a little bit overclocked to 775 megahertz. CPU usage around 70%, so I'm using FX 8320 Turbo Boost to 4 gigs of RAM. And just to show you quickly that video is set to ultra details with DirectX 11. Also we have 60 Hertz refresh rate monitor, full HD video resolution as well, and actually game is definitely playable. So you can achieve 60 frames per second in some specific situations when there's a lot less things happening on the screen. But if you want to play constant 60 FPS locked, then you definitely need to decrease details a little bit, and you're gonna be just perfectly fine. But overall, as you can see, the game works smooth and you can get very playable frame rate. Even if you get 40 FPS, the game still looks smooth and it's just definitely playable, you know. So it's definitely very good experience playing Dota 2 on this graphics card. So moving on to the another game test. Alright, so you're probably wondering, is it even possible to play emulated games on this graphics card? So it all depends on how strong CPU you're gonna get. GPU is not gonna be that big thing, but for example, I decided to test also this graphics card with Tekken 5 running on FX 8320, and let's just see how many FPS we can get. So not playable FPS for sure. We get like 43 frames per second, which is definitely not playable. So in order to achieve more, I will assume that I will need to downgrade a little bit performance. So 43, I mean, you can still play this game, but you really want to have 60. So in order to achieve higher frame rate, let's just move on to the resolution. So I'm just gonna put that on 3 times native, or actually 1080p. And when we put this to 1080p instead of the 4K, yes, for sure, you're gonna get 60 FPS. You're gonna be able to play PS2 games on this graphics card with maybe tiny lag, but nothing too serious. So it's also playable for PS2 emulated as well. And also looks very beautiful, I mean, no doubt about it. So look at this. Looks gorgeous. Much better than on the original PS2. You can't get such a beautiful graphic on PS2. So that's also playable. So thumbs up for PS2 emulation as well. Alright, so the second game is CSGO, or also well known as Counter-Strike. A very popular shooting game. As you can see right now, the game is just loading. We are running this game in DirectX 9, so GPU temperature still stays comfortable around 60. Well, I guess I'm just gonna go with auto select. So 79, 82 frames per second. So everything is maxed on high. 93 frames per second. I'm not sure if this is my guy or someone else. So yeah, probably somebody shoot me from the back. So yeah, definitely very playable experience, you know. I guess I don't even need to spoke how bad I really am in this game. Yeah, again. So we're getting around 100 FPS, so that's definitely playable. You know, everything is set to high, 100, 100 and something. Right now, actually, right now, the game just drops to 50, 58, so that's definitely not good. You really want to have constant frames per second, so let's try to set everything to, I don't know, maybe to medium settings. Let's go with everything to medium so we can see, okay, we can just set things like this. Apply changes. Okay, looks like how the game just freezed. And I managed to set my settings to medium. Right here I'm getting like 100 FPS, so dropping down to like maybe 80. It's definitely playable, you know, it's definitely playable, but I'm very bad at this game, you know. I'm not sure if I can somehow set to just watch this game. Probably not. I mean, graphic definitely look bad when you set things to medium, but it's definitely playable. So I'm also gonna say that this game is playable at least at 60 FPS. So is this enemy or oh, looks like I managed to kill somebody. So at the end. Okay, so let's move on to the Fortnite and see how good Fortnite will play on HD 5850, if it's even possible to run Fortnite on this graphics card. Alright, so there you go. There's a Fortnite. I just double click on the Fortnite shortcut on my desktop, and right now I'm waiting for the application or game to be loaded. So this is the loading screen. So far we have CPU temperature around 40, 45, 50 degrees, jumping from 40 to 49. 5 gigs of RAM used so far. Whole memory on graphics used, so around 1 gig. 46, 47 degrees. So yeah, we would definitely like to adjust the settings by itself. Alright, there we go. I think we're just gonna jump to the Battle Royale, and I'm gonna see the frames in the game. Okay, so far it says 60 FPS, but this is just a regular intro video, nothing special, you know. It looks pretty nice. So MSA Afterburner wouldn't let me to overclock this card more than 775 megahertz. I will assume that this card can be clocked even better, so you could probably get a couple more FPS. I I will just assume that. If you allow to see any other specific game played on this GPU, just let me know and I can definitely check that out. Alright, this looks nice, but don't expect this to be the same in the game as well. Alright, I guess I'm just gonna collect all and close. And frame just dropped to 25. That's insane. Alright, there we go. Let's see. Where's the settings? Settings. Okay, so full HD, so 9020 by 1080. Frame rate limit 60 FPS. It actually put everything on the high, which kind of surprised me. I think it's probably not gonna be super easy to achieve 60 FPS with this GPU. I'm just 100% positive in that, but let's see. Already 1 gig of memory used just in the loading screen, so I don't think this card can handle high details. I mean, yeah, probably you can crank them up, but you're probably not gonna get more than 15-20 FPS. I think this probably, so 30 FPS. Well, that's not that bad. And it's actually playable, which is interesting. So yeah, you can. Yeah, it looks pretty smooth. I mean, yeah, this is definitely playable. I'm kind of surprised. So you can definitely play Fortnite on 5850, getting decent frames per second. So I mean decent. When we say decent, it's only 30. It's not 60. 60 is probably the best frame rate you can get in order to achieve smooth playable gameplay and experience. You know, at least 60 you need. But even on 30, game does not lag as some games would. So I'm kind of surprised. Yeah, I would definitely call this as a playable experience. So I have no clue how to play Fortnite. This is just my first time that I'm playing this game. I'm just trying to benchmark this. GPU stands at around 68, 69 Celsius. Alright, so I guess I can open this and close this and pick up the ammunition. Yeah, pretty much this game is similar to the PUBG. So I guess I'm already in the zone where the game is just forcing you, and that was a huge lag. So I will assume that I'm just gonna die if I don't run out of this house. Okay, I'm just terrible in gaming, that's for sure. Where do I need to go? So I definitely need to go in the other direction. Alright, so let's just try to run out of this screen if it's possible. Then I will try to lower the details and also see if we can achieve 60 FPS with this GPU. But I'm actually very surprised to see the performance with 5850 50, being capable to run Fortnite on 30 FPS, which is a constant FPS, and it's also a playable experience in my opinion. So it's not that the game lags and things like that. It actually works. So I guess I need to run a lot. So probably just somebody gonna hit me. Is this my friend or somebody or what? Not enough ammo. The truth is, it's a little bit harder, you know, to I don't have ammunition anymore. So it looks like, oh my goodness. Oh, this is my guy. Okay, at least it looks like. Let's see. If we set medium settings. Okay, so if we hit medium settings, it's obvious that the graphics is going to be a little bit worse than on the high, but then we're getting 60 FPS. So 1080p medium settings, and there you go, 60 FPS. And the game looks just smooth as well. But double the frame rate, you know, so it's even better. It is even better, so as you can see, it's possible to achieve 60 FPS, which is a playable frame with this graphic on 1080p and medium settings. 3D resolution determines the resolution that objects are shown in the game. This does not affect the main menu. Okay, so what about if I just put it down to the low? How many FPS we can get then? So on the low settings, we are getting pretty much the same FPS, so 60 FPS, which is pretty much the same, but you're just gonna get worse graphic experience. So yeah, definitely much worse than it's on the medium settings. Okay, so what about switching this 1080p and low details. Okay, so yeah, you can definitely get 60 FPS. You can definitely get 60 FPS, and the game is smooth. So that's just insane. I didn't expect that I will be able to run Fortnite in this game as well at all. So it's possible, definitely. Alright, I see a lot of things going on my mini-map. The thing I like the most about Fortnite is the fact that at least you can see on the mini-map where other players are. Compared to the PUBG, you don't have option to see them. So once again, in 720 medium settings, we can achieve 60. And what about 1080p medium? Impossible. Impossible to get 60. You're gonna get around 30, 35. But even 720p looks good, you know. The most amazing thing is that on this GPU you're probably gonna get around the same FPS that you're gonna get on the console, which is amazing in my opinion. And this graphic is definitely capable of running and playing those esports games at playable FPS. So if we go to the medium distance, if we turn off shadows and anti-aliasing, I think I'm probably gonna get 60. Yeah, as you can see, this is 60 FPS. At least it's a closed room. So what about if I go out 53, 58, 59, 60? So yeah, definitely good. All right, so that's it for the Fortnite. It's definitely playable. I'm calling this as a big score. So if you don't know which graphics card you should buy to be able to play Fortnite at least in 1080p with 60 FPS and medium to low settings. And if you don't have too much money to spend, so this graphic card only cost me $20. So you should definitely go for 5850 1 gig version, because with this graphics card you can easily play Fortnite on 1080p, and you can get, as you can see, 60 frames per second, as long as you have CPU and enough RAM that can actually handle this game. So I'm running this on my FX 8320 clock to 4 gigs, and as you can see, it's possible to achieve 60 FPS and play this game. I hope you guys enjoy watching this video. Make sure to hit a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more videos. Let me know in the comments below if you would love to see any other games played on this GPU. So thanks for watching and have a nice one.